Okay. So this is another reflection of my experience at India Imports. It's like I think I always brag about how much I learn and struggle and have fun at India Imports. But this time we shook it up this month of August. My parents, my dad always spontaneously opens new stores, and we have like multiple locations, but I focus mostly on Indian Ports because it's the one closest to me. But we have one in Arlington, we have one in Carrollton, Plano, Richardson, Louisville. They're all over, but they're really far, so I don't get to visit them as often as I can. At the one in Irving, right next to Indian Ports, is where I grew up anyway, so it's the one I love to go to and help out in. But for the first time, my mom and my dad were discussing about opening just a restaurant, like because our restaurant portion of Indian Ports is very popular. It's a very inexpensive way to eat and get a lot of food. So it's not a gourmet thing, but my parents were discussing we could bring this thing, just a restaurant, to somewhere else. So we were discussing it, and they really started to include me more because I guess I'm getting older and I have been contributing to the store a lot more, and I think they especially because I'm not doing it for pay. I think they really understand that I'm doing this for learning purposes and to really contribute to them as well as our community, as well as meeting new people and just developing me and understanding who I am even more through this kind of outlet. So I think they really understood that, and I don't know if you've heard of Andalus. It's very popular. A lot of people. My dad actually knows a lot of knows the owner of that place, and he was showing us some buildings that were like right next to his. That's actually a place that's going for retail right now. And we went in and we were checking out the place, and it was really cool. It was very big, but I know it was mostly just an empty box. Like there was a kitchen in the back. There was like this really outlet floor, and it was just a really big empty space. But I think it was really cool for me because first of all, my dad brought me. And he was really asking for my opinion, and I'm really just looking at it and thinking, how could we make this into a restaurant? What would the procedure be? How would we set everything up? And it was the first time I had to like initiate and like kind of envision and be creative about something. It was really crazy. And we went to multiple places, but that was the place to go because. And then you also have to take into consideration where the property is located. I mean, there's a lot of properties that are beautiful, but they're in the middle of nowhere. We went to, where was it? Addison? Yeah, I think it was either Addison or, I think it was Addison. I can't remember. No, it wasn't Arlington. Yeah, it was Addison, and it was just, there's nothing around it. There was no houses, but yeah, also you have to take into account of who lives around you and who are the people that can live. And like that location seems very, very beneficial to us. I mean, there's a school, our school, right next to it, where a lot of our student body is from an Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi background, and that's the exact kind of food we serve. On top of that, it's plus there's other restaurants around, and as a restaurant that can provide wholesale, they could come to us. And it's next to a lot of workplaces that come out during lunch. It gets very hectic, and it could be a new spot for them. On top of that, it's close by. It's close by to our own house, and I will be able to provide my own aid, and my sister, when she comes back, she can provide her own aid. And we have a lot of family that can also help out because it's what we do. It's in a very sweet spot. And me, my family, we're really thinking about how can we do this, and it was the first time we all kind of sat down and brainstormed. It was usually my dad, and he does it by himself with my mom's help, but now it's more me included, and it's very weird to think about. But I mean, it was very like it made me think. I was like, I've really grown, and thinking about how everything works, you have to understand like your vision isn't always going to be right. Like I thought we could incorporate a drive-through because we can pump out large quantities of food, and I think people would love it to go around. But my dad and my mom objected to it because she said no, the food actually does take longer than you'd think. Um, and that was just me being ambitious, I guess. And she said it would just be a huge strain, and she's like, I think it would actually collapse our business rather than increasing our profits. And it was a real challenge to think, but it was really cool to collaborate with my parents on like this one-on-one basis, and of we were equals rather than they're above me and I was below them. On top of that, we're talking to what do we call it? Our other business managers who were gonna help out, and the chefs are like head chefs, and they're all in on it, and it was really interesting. It was very fun to do. It's always fun to go see new places and envision what could possibly happen. So, in that, it was very fun. It was very humbling. Once again, like Indian Ports always is, and I got a very broader sense of how to really start a business from scratch. So, I'm gonna end it right there.